This video is brought to you by Nebula. Today, Haiti's crisis gets worse as armed groups pull off a major prison break. Germany and Russia feud over a leaked audio, and 10 years after its disappearance, Malaysia plans to restart the search for flight MH370. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Monday the 4th of March, 2024. A state of emergency has been declared in Haiti following an escalation in violence and a major prison break, as a powerful gang leader aims to oust Prime Minister Ariel Henry. According to the Haitian government, 2 prisons were stormed by armed gangs over the weekend, one of them being the country's largest prison. It's not clear how many inmates escaped, but human rights group RNDDH said it was likely that an overwhelming majority of inmates had escaped from the prison, which held more than 3,600 prisoners as of February last year. An estimated 100 or so prisoners are said to have chosen to remain in their cells, fearing being killed in the crossfire. Those that chose to stay apparently include the former Colombian soldiers that were jailed for the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, which plunged Haiti into crisis back in July 2021. The prison break came after Gang Alliance leader Jimmy Cherizier, also known as Barbecue, called last week for the country's armed gangs to unite with the goal of overthrowing Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who has run the country since Moïse's assassination. In theory, under a political agreement, Prime Minister Henry was supposed to step down by the 7th of February to make way for an elected government. However, no elections have been held, with Henry citing the dire security situation as making it impossible to hold the vote. The country is without any elected government official, as the last remaining senators left office in January 2023 when their terms expired. As such, the country is unsurprisingly in the grips of a deep political, security, and humanitarian crisis. In the context of this power vacuum, armed gangs have flourished and are estimated to control some 80% of the capital Port-au-Prince. According to UN estimates, nearly 5,000 people were killed in the conflict last year, and around 300,000 people have been driven from their homes. The current surge in violence came as Prime Minister Henry was abroad visiting Kenya to discuss the deployment of a Kenyan-led multinational security mission to Haiti, backed by the UN, with the goal of re-establishing security in the country. If you want to know more about Haiti, its history and the current crisis, then check out our recent video on the subject over on the TLDR Global channel. There's more on the way, but be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to make the daily briefing part of your daily routine, or just search for us on your podcast app to listen along. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and the German Defense Ministry have landed themselves in hot water amidst a leaked audio recording of senior Bundeswehr officers discussing weapons for Ukraine. A 38-minute recording was released by Russian state broadcaster Russia Today late last Friday. The contents of the recording included military officers discussing how Taurus long-range cruise missiles could be used to help Ukraine. According to German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, Moscow has been accused of intercepting and releasing the audio recording, waging an information war against Germany, and accused Russia of seeking to destabilize and create divisions in Germany. The discussion of sending Taurus missiles to Ukraine had made headlines last week, as for months Berlin had been reluctant to supply Kiev with these missiles, despite pressure from other European states to do so, and is a matter that has divided the German coalition. Chancellor Scholz called the leak a very serious incident, and said his government is working hard to clarify the incident very carefully, intensively and quickly. Not only is the recording a cause for concern of Russian espionage, but the recording implicates the Chancellor, who is now being accused of using a false claim to justify not sending Taurus missiles. As a result, some opposition politicians are demanding a parliamentary inquest and for Scholz to explain himself in Parliament. Pistorius added that he was yet to receive any information about further leaks that might have been intercepted by Moscow, and that an internal investigation would begin early next week. In other news, global CO2 emissions rose to a new high in 2023, despite a decline in fossil fuel use in the EU and US, according to the International Energy Agency. Total energy-related CO2 emissions increased by 1.1% in 2023, compared to the year before, reaching a new high of 37.4 billion tonnes. This will make it difficult to achieve the need for emissions to be cut by almost 45% by 2030, to limit global warming to no more than 1.5 degrees Celsius since the pre-industrial era. Another finding was that while fossil fuel use fell in the EU and US, the coal-reliant developing economies of India and China saw higher emissions. However, the IEA's report isn't wholly negative, and it pointed out that overall emissions growth would have been about 3 times higher without the development of cleaner energy technologies such as wind turbines and solar panels. It says that energy-related emissions are in structural slowdown thanks to the growth of clean energy. We move to Malaysia now, where the country's transport minister has said that the search must go on for Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which disappeared 10 years ago this week. Previous investigations, including a pricey multinational government search and a private search in 2018 by Texas-based Ocean Infinity, did not solve the mystery, though some debris confirmed from the plane has been found washed up on the East African coast and Indian Ocean islands. The Malaysian government is in discussions with Ocean Infinity over a new proposed investigation that would search a wider site than the area of seabed searched in the southern Indian Ocean in 2018. According to Malaysia's transport minister, the company has proposed another no-find, no-fee investigation, and if their new scientific evidence is credible, he'll seek cabinet approval to resume the search under a new contract. The plane, which was carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members, was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, but deviated from its flight path before disappearing from radar. Analysis of communications between the plane and a satellite established that the plane likely crashed in a remote part of the Indian Ocean. The search has already become the most expensive in aviation history, and to this day, it's not known exactly why the plane went off course and disappeared. And finally, we'll end with some uplifting news from the world of nature, where photographers have documented humpback whales engaging in sexual activity for the first time ever, just months after the first ever footage of a live humpback whale birth was recorded. The twist with the latest observation is that the 2 whales whose encounter was photographed are actually both males, adding to the list of examples of sexual interaction between individuals of the same sex across a wide range of animals. Experts aren't sure exactly why the 2 male humpbacks engaged in non-reproductive sexual behaviour though. Theories include the maintaining of a relationship, practice for future encounters, or asserting dominance over one another.
If you want to keep learning and expanding your knowledge, then I'd recommend that you check out Wendover Productions' brilliant series, The Logistics of X. Now, you likely know Wendover already, but in this series, they dive deeper into the logistics and operations behind everyday things, from search and rescue operations to ski resorts and coal mining. One episode that I think you'll particularly enjoy is their latest, which gets into the logistics of weapons manufacturing, something that's key to a number of topics we regularly discuss on TLDR videos, and something that directly impacts wars and conflicts around the world. It's a brilliantly researched and thorough series that's exclusively available on our streaming service, Nebula. Now, as you likely know, Nebula is a service that we built with a bunch of our creator friends and is the home to tons of smart, educational content from all of your favorite creators. The best part is that by signing up, you not only get access to exclusive series like The Logistics of X, Modern Conflicts from Real Life Law, or China Actually by Polymatter, it also directly supports TLDR. That's because you signing up contributes to the budget of these big budget documentaries and helps us grow and expand our ambitions. So if you want to get more superb content and support TLDR, then if you sign up using the link below, you not only support us directly, but you also get Nebula for 40% off an annual plan. That's less than £2 a month. So thanks for your support and for backing Nebula.